Hi everybody, I'm Kara Bartram and I'm a market partner. I have decided today to get out of my house and I've come to, this is the lavender fields. This area they've always said is like a sacred land. People have been coming here for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and even today, to do meditation, to do dance, to have activities, events, and then this is all lavender in the summer, so it's a really special land and I've always found it really calming. So I'm gonna walk. I'm completely in the rain, but that's okay. Okay, I want to talk about opportunities, when opportunities come into our lives, and I want to talk about my journey through different points in my life when I've had to make a decision, and then what that looked like. So when I was 24, I had finished my degree in special education and history in Michigan, and you look back and think that should have been one of the most exciting times in my life, that I had finished my studies, that I was ready to teach, and instead I slipped into depression and I was really low for months and months and months. I could see at that point that there were teaching jobs available to me, but that I knew I wanted more. I had grown up in a small town that was wonderful, but I knew in my heart that there was something else out there for me, some other places out there for me, and I knew I wanted to see the world. I was like, I've got to see this world with my own eyes. And so through that depression, I started, I kind of knew what I wanted, but it was so overwhelming that I remember crying, and I thought, I'm gonna go see a counselor. So I went to see this counselor in my hometown, and on the third visit, I was saying to her, I really want to go, but maybe I shouldn't go because of this person. Maybe I shouldn't go because this person in my family might need me. Maybe I shouldn't go because, and on that third visit with her, when I will never forget, I looked across the room at her and she looked at me and she said to me, get on that plane. And it was like a light bulb, it clicked. 2 months later, I was on that airplane with my bags, and I remember the flight over, it was like super snowy, and I got to the other side, and the man at customs, he said to me, he was my age, and he was really scary, he was very intimidating, and he said to me, do you have enough money to support yourself in our country, in the UK? I looked at him in the eyes and I said, yes. He said, if I look at your bank account, do you have enough money? And I said, yes. I had $100 US in my bank account when I arrived in the UK. Thinking back at that 24-year-old woman, though, I will say, I never got on that plane ever thinking that London might just spit me out, chew me up and spit me back out. I never ever got on that plane thinking that I wouldn't get a teaching job once I got over there. I never got on that plane thinking that I wouldn't do it. That what I took with me was a ton of hope and a ton of excitement, a ton of enthusiasm, and this drive that I've got to do this. I've got to see the world, and I'm going, and I'll work out the details and the kinks and how I'm going to pay rent later. And so that was me at 24. I got my teaching interviews. I had 6 offers out of 7. And on my very last interview, my recruiter said, I'm going to send you to a school. She's like, there's extreme deprivation. It's in the inner city. It's probably one of the roughest places in London. She did tell me. And I showed up and I did the interview and it all went really well. And as I was leaving, obviously I had the other cakey jobs, and I had just finished this interview, and I was walking out the school and I saw myself in this school in the inner city of Southeast London, and I saw myself in the classroom and I saw these kids all moving around. In my mind, I was having them shift to activities and I saw it all. And when I walked out those doors of that school, I knew inside, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take this job because this job is going to change me. It is going to change my life, and it's not gonna be easy. When they called to offer, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Was it for the next 7 years a journey of learning and falling on your face and improving and learning from your mistakes? Yes. I absolutely loved it. I love the students. My heart was there. But if you're a teacher, or you know a teacher, teaching is kind of like being on a wheel. There is always something to do. There's always a meeting. There's always planning. It's the never ending. And so as much as you can know you're making a difference and that your heart's in it, physically, mentally, it's super draining. So after 7 years, my hair was falling out, my skin was peeling off. I was exhausted. And I sat down with my husband, because then I was married, and we made the decision that I'm going to leave teaching, which I did. So for the next then 7 years, I raised my kids, and I was one of those moms that was like, all right, this is what I'm doing. My whole focus was on those babies, which was wonderful. I used to go to the park and I'd see other moms on their phones, or they would be going off to work, or they're doing their business, and I was like, nope, I'm fine. I'm with my kids. Like, what else do I need? But if you're a stay-at-home mom, you also know that there is no money coming into the bank account for looking after our children. You know that it's a never-ending, like, cleaning and dinner and cleaning and dinner and cleaning and dinner, and there's nothing really aside from that. 7 years in, my kids were like, woo, moms, we've got mom's undivided attention all day long. And I think that can actually be like not the best either, when your kids realize, like, oh, this is all she's got going on. Okay, so now I want to fast forward to May 2020. May 2020 came. Before that, I was happy. I am a stay-at-home mom. This is great. I don't have the stress of like marketing and all those things from before. May 2020 came, and I worked out that, oh, we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere for a while. And mentally, I was like, to sit in my house and just watch the world shut down in the mix of all these uncertainties. I was starting to see like, this isn't going to be easy. At the very same moment, it all came in at once. My hair was, I'll just say it, my hair was scrappy. My hair was not growing. It had the oil on the top. It looked horsey. Speaking of horses, and my skin was gray. I'd be out in the garden trying to take a photo, because I also teach baby massage, and I'm like, I can't get a photo. My skin was gray. And all in that same month, my hair, my skin, I was not sure like what was going on in life. And then all of a sudden, I get a message from Paige. And Paige is somebody that I had met at a mutual birthday party. She told me about MONAT, and I was like, oh, MONAT is in England now. And I had heard of it. So she sent me the message, and I was like, all right. I had been watching another mom who lives in Ohio, Social Cell. So I was starting to clock on to women working from home, and social selling, with, having their kids at the house while they're working. I had been watching her, and there was this teeny part of me that was like, I can maybe do that, but it wasn't like a completely conscious thought. And so Paige wrote me, and I took a shower, and when I got out of the shower, I just had this feeling inside me like, say yes. I didn't even get dressed. I tease and say when I said this to Paige, but I grabbed my phone in my bedroom and I said, hi Paige, this is Kara. I don't really, yes, I'm gonna do it. And it was that same, feeling of all those times before my life where, I didn't know exactly what it was. I didn't know exactly what I would be doing. I didn't know if I would, fall, or if I would fall or not. But I didn't consider it. I didn't let my brain go to all those what ifs. That night, I sat down with my husband. I showed him a bit about MONAT. We did what everybody else does. We went to YouTube, and we saw that there were, my hair might fall out and all these things. And I sat there, I looked at him, he looked at me, and I just knew, I knew Paige. I've always admired her, and I knew inside that this was for me. And I bought my product pack. Since then, and I just smiled, because that night when I took that leap of faith, I didn't know, obviously I didn't know about different shampoos, and I didn't know about all the ins and outs of different hair types. I didn't know that there was this whole team waiting for me, this amazing group of women. I had no idea. I didn't know that page had a team. I didn't know that I'd be working towards free trips. I didn't know that I would get samples that I could easily give to other people so that they could try. I didn't know that there are so many people around me that have hair and skin problems. Now I do. 7 months later, I know. I didn't know that I was going to be on weekly trainings, that I would get all this support from people in high, that have worked in sales for years and years and are super knowledgeable and super helpful. I didn't know I was going to be connected with men and women all around the world. And that many of them, they inspire me every day. And I didn't know that I would get clients today that are in all 5 different countries. I even have friends who have reached out and been like, hey, my friend needs hair help, but they're living, for example, in Pakistan. So I'm like, okay, and then we ship to them. So all of a sudden now, it started with friends and family, but now I get messages from people I don't know. I get messages from people's friends, their relatives. I get messages from people on virtual sites that are like, hey, what is this stuff? And then you add on this bonus of like, my skin has never, ever looked this good, ever. My hair has never felt so clean and healthy. So it's a win-win-win all around. The other thing I would say is that my husband, like, and this isn't the case for everyone, but I'm super grateful to him because, you know, there's all these voices outside of us telling us, you should do this, you shouldn't do that. When I was about to leave for England, I had those voices of people saying, you shouldn't go there, you should get a teaching job at home. You know, all these reasons why we shouldn't take these risks. And what I've learned is, I'm grateful that my husband knows me enough that he was like, all right, Carrie, you want to do this? Like, I support you, go for it. He knows me. He knows that if I see something, I'm going to work hard and it will all be okay. That's the way we operate. So why I'm sharing all this is, we all come from different situations and different backgrounds. It was 199 pounds to sign up. But what I have learned with that is, I got all my products to try, I got all my samples to give, and you're never going to lose money. You will make back your 199. I made mine back in a month, and then from there, anybody that buys, anyone that becomes a customer, that money and that commission goes to you. And also I've learned that these products work. They absolutely work. So my customers, they buy monthly, they buy every other month. They come back because they're like, oh my goodness, this stuff is gold, I can't live without it. So once you have your customers, like, a lot of times those customers could be customers for life. And then a lot of times they'll add, you know, I love the hair care, I'm going to add the skincare, and now we have wellness. So for me, I see this as like, this is really going to be a business. I see it for a lifetime. And finally, I want to share that for me, I'm saving for a cottage for our family. So, you know, you can, with this money, this residual income that's always coming in, you really can think forward. This is what I want to use the money for. You know, whether it's to fix your car, whether it's to pay for activities for your kids, whether it's something long term, or doing up the house, or paying the mortgage, you know, whatever, or rent, whatever it is, it's life-changing. It really is. Okay, that's everything that I wanted to say. Thank you so much for listening. And I guess I want to finish with, if you have anything inside of you, any little part of you that's like, I think maybe this is something for me. I say, like, from my heart to yours, I'd say to you, you have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain. And sometimes in this life, especially now, stood here in the rain, we have to jump. We have to just jump in and know that if this path is meant for us, that it will all work out. It will work out in even way better, bigger ways than we ever imagined. Okay, thanks everyone. Lots of love. Bye, bye.